Hi sisters, I have been asked to talk to you about being joyful during quarantine. So one thing that has really brought me a lot of joy during quarantine is running. And I never thought I would say that about running. I have never been a huge runner, but my sister has challenged me to run a half marathon with her this year. So I've been running a lot more, and to be able to be right up close with all of the beauty that God has given us in this world has made this running experience so much more joyful for me. I am getting actual miles instead of just one or two in on my runs, and to be so up close and personal with this gorgeous canvas that God has made for us to look at is just a really, really joyful experience, and it's making something that used to not be joyful quite wonderful for me. So I hope that this brings you all joy.
Everybody, this is Ariel. I'm just here to talk a little bit about how I'm able to find joy in the season that I'm in currently. I actually have a lot going on right now. I'm studying for one of the biggest exams I'll ever take in my life. Recently just dealt with a death of a family member to COVID. Also dealing with trying to study in this pandemic, and then also some good stuff. It's also just planning a wedding. And though some's good, some bad, ultimately it's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and it's been super important for me to be able to find my joy in this season, which is not always easy, but I found that it's really small things and trying to appreciate the little things that have allowed for me to be able to find joy and find just really connect with God in this season. One of the things that I've been kind of doing on my breaks is taking prayer walks, and just really using that time to appreciate God's goodness. I really love the sun because it just reminds me of God's glory. And so when the sun is out and I'm able to go and walk around and use that time to just connect with Him, I truly can find my joy in that. Ultimately, I had to realize that the source of my joy and the core of my joy is always from God, but it doesn't mean that it's the absence of any other emotions. Like I can still experience His joy and still be sad that I lost a family member. I can still experience His joy, and still persevere and through other situations. But it really took me a little bit to kind of realize that. And for me, it's just been really important to hang on to scripture and prayer and spending time with God throughout my day in order to be able to see joy for what it really is. And I also wanted to share this verse that really encouraged me when it came to joy, but it's in Psalm 16, starting in verse 8. It says, I always put the Lord in front of me. I will not stumble because He is on my right side. That's why my heart celebrates and my mood is joyous. Yes, my whole body will rest safely because You won't abandon my life to the grave. You won't let Your faithful followers see the pit. So at the times where I can feel a little bit down and overwhelmed with all of the different things happening in life, I'm super happy, still at my core, because I'm able to hold on to Christ. I'm able to hold on to God. I'm able to hold on to the hopes that He's promised me, and that my life is to glorify Him, and that what I'm going to receive, even in the testing of my faith, is 100-fold greater than what I'm receiving in this life right now. And so for that reason, I'm able to hold on to my joy.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Kainalainen. I know that right now it's a world of difference out there. Things are a lot different than what they used to be, and that's scary. But I think during this time, it's just so important to find joy in the little things. I know for me, I've been finding joy by spending extra time at home with my 3 dogs and my husband, and just going on walks with them and just enjoying time in their company. I feel like I'll never have this much time at home again, and so that's been really great, just enjoying the people around me, the people that God has placed into my life. Also, I feel like it's been really just faith building to work on growing relationships in my life, friendships, connecting with others in ways that are, different than what they used to be, whether that is, a Zoom call or just calling up a friend or going on a social distance walk. I think that God has put just so many great people into our lives. And even though it's hard to be away from all of these friendships that God has placed into our lives, I just think now more than ever, it's important to just reach out to people, schedule a social distance walk, get outside and just enjoy the beauty that God has given us through our friendships and just the beauty that He has created. I hope that this encourages you during this time, and I hope that you can find joy with God and with the people God has placed into your lives.
What's helped me to find joy in this time has been to create an environment in my life where joy is possible, because you can't just fake it or manufacture it. Joy has to be real to actually be joy. And so what I've done that by having grace with myself and not pushing myself to do more than I can handle. I do less, but I do the things that matter, and so that I can receive joy from the things that I invest my time in. And so the things that I have done that have given me a lot of joy is making time to talk with people that energize me and hold me accountable. And I do things with God that energize me and give me energy, like listening to the Bible instead of reading it, or doing something crafty and like putting a Bible verse on something, like making a little poster. And so I hope that these suggestions and what I've done can be helpful for you.
Hey sisters, I miss you all, and I am hoping that everyone is doing well. I was asked to share with all of you something that has brought me joy during this difficult time, and I came up with a list of 3 specific things because it was kind of hard to only pick one. So here they are. First is ice cream. I definitely waited 45 minutes in a parking lot in my car to wait for my turn to order, but let me tell you, it was worth it. And second is spring. There's sunshine, there's fresh air, the leaves are starting to come on the trees, and there is beauty in God's creation, and it's brought me a lot of joy to be outside and to spend time with my husband and my family, going on walks, and I look forward to being able to go on some walks with some sisters this week, so that's awesome. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to Crystal Sanderson and her girls. They made homemade pretzels a few weeks back, and they dropped it off at our house, and along with it they made some encouragement cards, and I was so encouraged. Like, I was brought to tears of joy from that, and I just wanted to thank you guys for the love that you have shared. I kind of wanted to take a moment to say that, it was kind of hard to come up with this list. It's been hard during quarantine, and I was kind of not doing great. Like last week, it was not a good week for me. But it wasn't until that I sat down and really took the time to reflect on some joyful moments that I was really able to be encouraged and find joy just in that alone. So I encourage you, if you're having a difficult time like I was, reflect on the small moments, because they don't need to be big moments to find joy. It can just be the small moments that that can just lift you up. I love you all, and take care.